Okay, we're back. I'm ready to start positioning the other stock rail here. It's going to be the one that curves in off the diverging route back into the straight section of the turnout here. Hopefully this angle will give you guys a decent view. Now what I got down here ready to go is my other insulated rail joiner down here. I'm not going to glue this in. I'm going to leave it loose because I want to be able to work with this. In this segment here, you're going to see me actually utilize some of these T-pins and so forth I talked about in a previous video. To help get the arc into this that I need and so forth. What I'm going to do is just come along initially here. Just going to place a few of these to get the general shape that I'm after, and a little bit of the arc into there that I need. Again, we're going to be tweaking this as we go, but hopefully in that angle there, what you can see is even with just these couple of T-pins in it down here, I've got the general arc in there already. Like I said, it is going to be needing to be tweaked a little bit. I'm okay with that. I'm going to put another one in right here. And like I said, these are great. They're like an extra little set of hands, and it'll hold that rail all day long. Okay, I'm a little tight on my gauge, so I need to open this one up here. I'll go ahead and check that. Pretty good with where that is in this immediate section right here. I'll push that in. I'm just going to let it kind of hang free there. Okay. That's very good right in there. What I'm gauging off of right now is this little stub rail here coming off the head of our frog. I've got that spiked in and so forth, and I'm going to be gauging off the side of the frog right here. We're going to get this end of this rail spiked down to about this point. And then we will progress down to the end where the points are going to be at. And I'm going to gauge these two, the stock rails at this location down here. So we get that straight portion of the turnout there, the entry to the turnout. We'll get that all spiked down. So that'll leave the center portion of this radius here, it'll leave it loose. And what I'm going to do is when I start working with the other closure rail that's going to curve in off the end of the frog here, as I work that, I'm going to work these two simultaneously as I go. And that'll help give me a nice uniform arc off the diverging route all the way back into the straight section of the switch, or the lead into the switch here. Again, like I said, I can't emphasize this enough. Everybody's process is going to be different. Some people like to start with a frog and both closure rails and build off of that. Others like to begin with a stock rail like I do. Whatever you find works for you, that suits your purpose, is what you're going to need to work with. So I'm going to try to get a slightly different angle on the camera here, and we'll start the spike. Okay, we're back. I've repositioned the camera. You're at the opposite end. Your viewpoint's from the opposite end now, the straight section of the turnout there, looking into the diverging route. Again, what I've done is I got the T-pins in place here. I'm going to go ahead and gauge this end out real quick, and then we'll start inserting some tie plates and get some spikes in there to hold this in place. That's pretty good right in there. I'm going to go ahead and insert a few of the tie plates, and as I said, get the spiking and see what we can do here. I'm going to let the camera roll. You can watch this process here, because I had a few people ask me about this curved closure rail and how we work with that to get it to kind of flow and so forth. And my answer to that is I have no idea how it flows. It just ends up that way for me, thank God. See, with these larger turnouts like this, number 10, number 8s, number 10s, and anything larger than that, you're really going to find that, let me just pick this rail up a little bit there. You're going to find that large portion of this part of the stock rail on this side here, it ends up being more of a straight section in this area here through the frog. So you start getting down into this area here with this other end of the frog. So we'll start getting that little of that arc in there. You'll see it more. Again, I'm just going to get a few of these things in there. We want to get this nice and solid. Because again, while everything's loose, as we've covered, that's when things are the most challenging to work with, because everything's moving around on you constantly. That's kind of the key to these turnouts, is where you feel the most comfortable beginning when you're hand laying it. Like I say, I like, I start with a stock rail for me because it gives me, again, working on not a curved turnout, just a straight turnout, if you will. It gives me that nice straight long section to work off of, which is just fantastic when you're going to position your frog and so forth. I like that. I feel pretty comfortable with that. So that's why I do it that way. Let's say this part of this video is probably going to be a bit longer than the others, but I want you to see a little bit more of this. Because again, I've had some folks just asking about it and figured, you know what, it's only time, so we might as well take the time to do it and show it, and and again, my school of thought on this is if you watch these videos and come away with an idea of what to do, or if you kind of watch the videos and come away with an idea and think, boy, I'm not doing it that way, I am perfectly okay with that. It shows what to do and what not to do. I'm fine with it. Nobody's going to hurt, it's not going to hurt my feelings, and I actually enjoy having somebody show me their way to doing stuff, because we can all just do things in such a different fashion that there's just, I don't know, the older I get, the more and more I find out there's less and less of the right way or the wrong way, and a lot more cases of it just being a different way. And I like that. I like the different approaches. Again, it's just a matter of everybody's own little style, what you're comfortable with and what you like. Anyway, again here with this, we're just working to get as much of this down solid as we can. Just to give you guys some idea here, the stage of this that I'm at, I can usually lay a number 8, about 2, maybe a little over 2 hours, even incorporating all these detail plates. The thing with trying to film it, of course, is trying to make sure you don't really skip anything, trying to make sure you get a decent shot so that you guys can see what the heck I'm doing. Trying to make sure I explain what the heck I'm doing. So hopefully I'm doing that okay for all of you. Like I said, this whole concept's new to me, but I just thought, kept looking all over the internet. I saw a ton of stuff on HO and N-scale and so forth, and I thought, my God, I can't believe there's no O-scale videos out there yet of anybody doing this. And I can't emphasize enough, I am the furthest thing from any kind of an expert with this stuff. So much of this I learned by the seat of my pants, making mistakes. I can't tell you how many parts I've messed up. I've messed up actually a couple of frogs and stuff like that, just trying to do what I thought made sense, and definitely found out the hard way that I was quite wrong. Okay. Alright, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to continue down with the spiking. I'm going to gauge, again, off this little stub rail coming off the frog. I'm going to continue down probably until I get up to about this portion or so right here. And then I'm going to show you how we just start maintaining this arc and this radius all the way through the turnout. Instead of that end, I'm going to go ahead and work on that. We'll be back in just a moment. Okay, hi, we're back. What I've done now is I've got a different shot lined up. This is down at the end where our points are going to be at. This is the opposite end of that curved stock rail. I finished spiking down at the opposite end, down towards the frog and so forth, where we were just at in the prior shot. Just to give you a reference to where we are, our points are going to end up right down here, this area here, and in here is where our throw bars are going to be for our points. What I want to do now is take this time where these two stock rails meet again down here, if you will, and they straighten back out. I want to get both of these spiked down because they're both loose at this end. I want to work beyond where the points are going to end up. You'll find out why for that later. So when I insert some spikes down in this area right here, just get both of these tracks down, spiked and engage at this end. Then we'll move on to some other work with the other closure rail and so forth. What I'll do right now is just check the gauge, see where things ended up here. We're a little wide at that point. Same thing here. What I'm going to do, I'm going to remove this T-pin here, get a hold of a couple more. We're going to get this right where it needs to be. Now, it's kind of hard when you're working off of both of them being loose. So what I think I'm going to do first is, since I know this one right here is exactly where I want it to be, I'll go ahead and spike right there. Again, working beyond where the points are going to end up. Got to get a few dropped in there. And get this spiked into place. Again, I'm just shoving my tie plates underneath here, so I'm sure my hand's in the way, unfortunately, but I'm a righty, and it's just, I think, is just the best shot for you guys to see what's going on. Okay, those are there. Go ahead and we're going to get that spiked in. Again, it's always important when you're doing these to go ahead and just move things around a little bit if you need to, get things exactly where you need them to be. You know, and it's going to come with time. You're going to have to get down and do a few of these and figure out your own rhythm and your own style and figure out what's going to work the best for you while you're trying to just go through the process, because you got to be comfortable with what you're doing. So again, I'm just putting these all in loose initially. Reason for that is because this rail at this end, like I said, is completely unspiked except for this area we're doing now. So I want to hold it down and apply some pressure while I drive these spikes down. I'll come back a little later and make everything look all nicey nice, but for now I'm just trying to get it held into place. So we're going to come back now. Now I'm going to do this rail right here. And then I got a hard point here to work off of, which is what we need to have. So I got that in there engaged. I'm going to come in now. I'm going to insert my T-pins. And apologize for some of that background noise. What you're hearing there is my little boys that are just about ready to go back to school. They're a little excited about things, so... All right, that's held right where I need it. I'm really happy with this spot right here. So again, we're going to do the same thing. I'll put a couple of tie plates in on this side, on the same ties, and get that rail held down nice and securely. And we'll be all set to go here. What I was talking about earlier is these turnouts, you definitely got to find your own little way of doing it. Okay. All right. This is pretty good. I'm going to go in loose with these. I'm going to check the gauge really quick afterwards before I insert spikes on the opposite side and try to drive everything home just to make sure we're real good with the gauge. I get a spike ready to go on my pliers here. And okay, let's come back and check this quick. All right, that's good right there. Go ahead and drive it in. And there we go. Now we're done with that one tie. Let me load up another spike. And we'll get right to work on this other one here. Okay. We're good there too. So, same thing. I'm just going to put another spike in. Okay. That's where it needs to be. Okay, I'm happy with where we're at here. Now what I'm going to continue to do here a little bit more, I'm going to put a few more tie plates in, probably on these two ties right in here. These being held down now at four locations on each rail there. That's going to hold things nice and securely when I'm down here flexing things a little bit. the whole thing's in proper position. So I'm going to finish up with that, and then we'll move on to the rest.